Should be unlocked. Yep. Look how clean this is now. It's so clean. It smells so good in here. Flashing light. We got a ding. Make sure we're neutral. Alright, that's the startup. I'm interested. Whew! It was kind of gassy out here. Let me check under here. No fluids. So that's a good sign. Still got some stuff hanging down under there. And I kind of want to get some footage of the engine on the startup, just to know what I'm kind of dealing with. So we'll start that again, and we'll come back over here. I'm actually going to try to look over the dash here at the engine. Actually, I can't look that far. Same setup, clutch in, brake in. I'm getting fumes. I don't know if that's backdraft from the wind coming in or if we got a leak somewhere. But today, I'm just going to leave it rolling. I'm just going to change, I'm going to get the plugs out, if I can find my magnet, and I'm going to change the ignition wires and see if that doesn't do anything for us in terms of our idle. Because it was kind of lumpy. But up here, a lovely dusty box. Motorcraft, Motorcraft, Motorcraft. Always use Motorcraft with these guys. But we got the spark wire, the fuel filter, and the plugs. I don't know if I'm going to do fuel filter today, because I haven't looked up where it is exactly. It might be in line or it might be up front. I don't know for sure. But I have booklets in there that'll help me learn that info. But these are going to be kind of the easier things that we can really do. We're going to come in here and disconnect our battery once more, because we're going to be in the electrics. We don't want to. For those of you who don't know, this is a battery disconnect. You only want to put them on the negative terminal, never on the positive, only on the negative. And what this does is there's two pieces of metal that are separated by a super plastic. There's a bit of the plastic, it goes underneath. And this piece right here, which our lead's attached to, is not directly touching right now the piece that's touching our lead. And the top of this here is what actually screws down and makes contact, because those threads are connected to this, and the top bit, if we have to keep clean, is attached to this. So once that bridges the gap, we have power. But without that, I can actually just leave this partially unscrewed without a gap in there, or with a gap in there, and we're good. I can just set this aside right now next to our lovely shitty oil covered engine that we have to look into later. But I'm just going to take a picture really quick of how the wires come out, take a few pictures at different angles, just so I'm very certain if I'm ever completely lost. I also have shop manuals for this exact model in the bedroom in there I can go get if I need that. I'm hoping this is that's water. That's just some water accumulation there. Nothing really to worry about. I'm trying to trace this fuel line. Yeah, I do think the filter is an inline filter that's probably under the car or near the tank, which is fine. Not that big of a deal. we get our new coil, which has not been chewed on by rats. We're going to kind of take a look here and kind of line it up and compare it to what we got here. So top left, you got coming through here, top left one here under the breather tube, which might need to be replaced. Well, that feels, it's not crusty at all. Anyways, top left comes through number 1, top right comes through number 3, bottom left is 4, bottom right is 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the cylinders that are associated with these guys. So for this guy, we got the longest, obviously, 1, and then are these in the wrong order on here? I want to say they're in the wrong order. I'm actually going to take that little retainer off, throw it there, and I'm just going to replace these one by one. Let me get a light down in there. No oil buildup in there, though we do have some paint flakes, and there is still some rat turds here, which I'm not happy about having to work around. Yeah, no sitting oil in there, so that's a good sign that we're not having stuff seep past those. Couldn't find my magnet yet, but just as a quick note, these really shouldn't take a whole lot of force to get out, as long as some doofus didn't put them in before you got to it. So I think that's actually all the way loose. Yeah, those are loose. Okay, luckily in my tough grip stuff for my DeWalt, I found this little magnet bit. So hopefully you can just reach down in here. Oh no, I goofed it. There we go. There we go. Ooh, she's old. Old and goopy. I'm just going to put them on a rag over here on the ground in order of how we get them out. But with that out, we can now install our new plug wire. Let's unplug that. And there we go. It's out. And before we do that, it should be gapped to 0.5, I believe. But these should work. They're nice, fresh. I'm actually just going to find the hole with that one. Make sure we're started threading correctly and we're not crossed, because that would be a shame to cross thread our spark plugs. You don't really want to over tighten these. I'm sure most people know, who are watching this know, you don't want to over tighten your spark plugs, because then you can have the magical thing of a broken spark plug. You want to get to it tight and then just do a little bit more, and that's it. That's all you really want. You don't want a German spec. You don't really need a Guten tight. Just need it on there. Make sure our plug seats correctly, which is actually having an issue. We are straight in there. Make sure we're cleaned up here in the threading. There we go. Seated. Just looking around at the lovely job the detailers did. I'm sure before this sequence you would have seen the time lapse of them coming and giving the old girl a freshen up. And that should do it. Whoop. That was almost real bad if I had done one of those numbers. A lot of carbon buildup, but nothing like really overly concerning just yet. Could just be old plugs. I mean, they're probably I don't know if they've ever been changed out. Got our nice new plug on the handle. I always want to be careful never to drop your plugs. If you do happen to drop your plug, go get a new one. Always better to be safe than sorry with stuff like that. There, went right on. You come on over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just take 3 out preemptively because it's kind of in the way. Toss it over there. 4, you're in the way too. Let's toss you over there. And we can have that bracket come in right here. Hopefully. Let me kind of get a light down in there just to make sure we're all nice and dry. A little itty bitty bit of rust. Nothing to really be overly concerned about though at this point. Now we just do the opposite of what we just did and take this one out. See, that's how it should is start giving right away. Number 3 is concerning me. They're actually looking exactly like the plugs I pulled out of the spare engine, so those might actually be factory. So they've been in here for near 140,000 miles. About time to change them out. Well, we're gonna wait on the startup because I'm gonna soak that in PB Blaster before I do anything drastic like put a breaker arm on it. There we go. So you start wishing you had magnetic back sockets just for this occasion. We're gonna kind of clean this up a little bit there. I think these are old. And I'm gonna grab a wee bit of PB Blaster just to squirt down in that hole to try and loosen up that guy. So I'll let that sit for an hour or so. Actually, maybe overnight, depends. And then we'll be back with another startup video. So this is kind of still day 1, kind of still not, but already replaced the plugs and ignition wires. We got a new battery in, battery disconnect, so we're not draining. So I think there is some drainage issues, especially with these chewed on grounds, which I haven't seen to yet. And there's another one over here. But today I'm going to try to salvage and continue to use the stock airbox for now. I'm going to kind of mostly dismantle it. Take a look at the filter. I know it's probably dingy and dirty. We're going to replace this snorkel, which the tube of which, let's see if we can get the light. The tube of which is not the stock tube and is just kind of shooting the air up under there. There's a hole right about here in that box, in the air box, in the bottom of the air box that sucks it up and into it. And supposedly, I haven't seen proof of this in dyno numbers, but supposedly the stock air box with the stock plumbing is supposed to be the best situation for the air intake. And over here, we do have a nice-ish AEM cold air intake system that will come out right out of there. We'll use this mass airflow and come down in front of the trans, and we'll stick out. That's a backup in case we can't salvage this, which is an actual standard snorkel piece I salvaged from the junkyard from the 03 that this motor came from. So we'll put these back over here. I'll try not to move quick as I just whip my head. But we're going to crawl under there and kind of see if this is even doable. I don't have any attachment lug or anything. Okay, that looked like it was snapped there, but it seems to be fine. But this also seems to be not in good condition, just from the amount of play we have here. So I might be able to wrap this in something, maybe like kind of like exhaust wrapping, sorry. But I also have to kind of run water through here to see if I can flush it out, because I'm relatively certain there is spiders in there. But we're going to find our dolly, and we'll get back to you when we are up underneath. Alright, here we are up underneath, and let me see if we can, up in here, somewhere in this area, is the inlet for the airbox. Take a look at our relays. This looks like a bad job. Another cat. And I'm pretty sure we had a power steering leak at some point. Of course, you have your signature dented manifold. Always great to see. Nice 6-speed sitting here. But looking at this, I'm gonna have to remove the battery box at the very least. Get this off. To get this guy out, and our new old guy in. It's going to time to take a look at our suspension while I'm here too. Looks to be in pretty good shape, although the brakes could use a good cleaning as always. There's a fair bit of rust in the knuckles, which could be cause for concern. But I'm going to have those sandblasted. Sway bar and link looks okay. Tie rod end looks good. I haven't checked if the fan relays work yet. I really hope they do. That could be a difficult part to find at times. O2 sensor looks okay. Hard to kind of tell from here though. And I can't see the back one. I can't get her up high enough in the back with my current jack. Am I missing? I'm missing a bolt after this one. Yeah, the lower core support. I think this is the lower core support. Yeah, this is the lower support. I'm missing a bolt off of that. Plastic here looks good. This piece looks good as well. A little chewed up. But yeah, the battery box will definitely have to come out for me to get that new snorkel in. But I had guessed at that earlier. I keep seeing the reflection of the recording light. I have a leak of something here. I'm not sure exactly what that would be, besides like leftover water. It has been cold in here, so there's not a lot of heat to evaporate anything. I really don't want to crack open the trans anytime soon, so I have no experience with those as of yet, and I don't want my first experience to be a blown trans, so I'm going to be very careful with her. Yeah. Well, at least I know what my taxes are going to. New floors in here and quick jacks. But yeah, I think that's the game plan going forward, is just to remove this snorkel, because this isn't doing anything really, because it's all being sucked up into that hole there. So any grime down here and your road debris right up in there. But we'll catch you back up top. Now that we have the new wires and new plugs in, fresh battery, I'm just going to give her another startup. I'll come in here and we'll reconnect our battery. And make sure we're plugged in here. Oh, it feels good in here though. Sounds good. Power steering works. A little bit more vibration than what I want. But that might just be the engine mounts. I kind of want to have a sniff around in case I smell anything electric-y. Nothing really to speak of. Have a look underneath. No fluids, no leakage, no seepage. We'll check our oil really quick. That's the magic question, huh? Does she have oil, or did I just run her dry? Yeah, she's got oil. It looks a little low. It does look a little low, but she is sitting at an angle. So her nose is up more. And also the garage is at a slight angle. So that could be contributing to it. But we'll still drain fluids and give her some nice royal purple. And I think that's about good for now. I'm hungry. I just got home from work. And we have a nicely running car. It's a little bit more vibration than what we want. But looks like we still got water back in there. And that is water right there, in case you are wondering. Back there on the intake manifold. Yeah, that might be cooling in there. So we'll replace this old and tired reservoir though. Thinking about getting an aluminum replacement one, because this one's not matching up to the bolt hole it's supposed to. And we'll get all new coolant pipes as well from the Moshimoto. But yeah, that about covers it for today.